Good evening and welcome. My dear viewers, there are times when we must come together to talk about the greatest problems for the country. And viewers, some things which are the greatest problems and threats to our country are not always visible. They are often invisible, and sometimes they operate by stealth as well, with a shroud and a mask, which sometimes make it difficult for us to identify them. And today, viewers, I want to talk about the instigators in India. The instigators. There are instigators in India today who think it is their personal freedom and responsibility to instigate problems and violence in India. They want to instigate Indian versus Indian. They want to instigate religion against religion, farmers versus non-farmers, and find every possible divide to keep themselves relevant. The more trouble they create, the more violence they provoke. These people feel they will gain in importance, in relevance. They will become part of the narrative because largely the instigators have been thrown out through a democratic electoral process. And parties which have been thrown out and rejected use these instigators to remain relevant. They abuse and attack every institution, especially the Supreme Court. Especially the Supreme Court, the media, the forces, and the legislature. These instigators are disloyal to India, but they are very quick to wear the mask of professional duty as lawyers or journalists or activists to claim that they are actually instigating to make the country better. Have you heard of anything more horrendous, absurd? This is not just an absurdity or an oxymoron. This is the rationalization of anti-national behavior by the instigators who, unfortunately, you and I have given a long leash to for decades. I am making a national call today, which I hope will be one of the fundamental abiding rules of the nationalist collective, of which details we'll give next week. Why have we given a long leash to the instigators? Think about it. Is it because you and I, the people of India, are incapable of taking on the instigators on? Absolutely not. Is it because the law prohibits action against instigators? Absolutely not. Is it because those who have been instigated against have something to hide or defend? Absolutely not. I'll tell you why we have not acted against the instigators. It is because we have begun to think that there is a moral virtue in not responding. We believe we will become morally greater and better if we keep getting attacked by the instigators. It is a self-defeating argument which the youth of this country, nationalists in this country, the people of this country don't accept anymore. You can say whatever, viewers, but I know people will say Arnab is a right-winger to say this, but this is my view. My view is that it is a self-defeating argument, that if you get slapped on one cheek, you should present the other cheek, and then present the other cheek and the other cheek, and keep getting slapped till the spiteful, vexatious, malicious slapper gets so tired that he's unable to slap anymore. This is an approach that should be rejected in India. This is not an approach that will work anymore in the India of 2020. This approach has seen India burn and encourages the instigator to make violence a weaponized tool, rationalized as a right of public dissent. My dear viewers, I believe the instigator and instigators must be made to pay. This will not just be our first debate today, but we hope it will be a rerouting of our new nationalist thinking in this country, that we need to make instigators pay if we want to make India greater and greater and greater.